Okay. Welcome, subcommittee members and members of the public, to this December 6th Governor's Workforce Development Strategic Planning Subcommittee meeting. For the record, my name is Nancy Olson, Chair of the Strategic Planning Subcommittee. Katie, will you please take a roll call and confirm a quorum and verify posting?
Sure thing. Thank you, Ms. Chair Olson. So we have Chair Olson.
Here.
Okay. Thank you. We have Vice Chair Estepona. Okay, we have Councilman Black.
Here.
Thank you. We have Drazen Elez.
Present.
Thank you. Tommy White. Okay, Senator Lang. Okay, David Schmidt. Milt Stewart. Ariana Florence.
Here.
Thank you. Daniel McHatton.
Here.
Thank you. Okay, there's Sherry Mantanona. Assemblywoman Monroe Monreno. Gina Bon Jovi.
Here.
Thank you. Michael Bulgmini. Okay, Brett Miller.
Here.
Thank you. Robert Fink. And lastly, Michael Yoder.
Here.
Thank you. Okay. We just needed one more. Ms. Chair Katie Gilbertson, Governor's Office of Innovation. For the record, I hereby affirm that this December 6, 2023 Governor's Workforce Development Board has not reached a quorum. But however, I further affirm that the agenda and notice for this meeting is properly posted pursuant to Nevada's open meeting law, NRS 241020.
Thank you, Katie. Before we proceed, the chair would kindly request that anyone who speaks today identify themselves for the record. Continuing on to agenda item number 4, public comments. Members of the public are invited to provide comments at this time. No action may be taken on any matters during public comments until the matter itself has been included on an agenda as an item for possible action. Do we have any public comments on the telephone? Do we have any public comments on Zoom? Okay, moving on to agenda item number 5. Since we do not have a quorum, we will not be taking a vote on the subcommittee meeting minutes.
Charlton, just real quick, Katie Gilbertson for the record. Cheryl from Nevada Works Shared and Milt will be joining momentarily, and if you get him, you'll have a quorum of 9. So you want to maybe just push that to the back of the agenda.
Okay, thank you. Yes, we'll do that. Okay. So going on to agenda item number 6, we will go back to agenda item number 5. But moving on to agenda item number 6. Oh, those are more. Sorry, agenda item number 5 was the June meeting minutes, and 6 is the September meeting minutes. So we will continue.
Oh, and Chair Olson, we had Vice Chair Estepona join us, so we have a quorum now.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
All right.
I had a Microsoft Teams invite, and that's where I was hanging out by myself.
Oh no.
Got it. Well, I am in an Uber, so bear with me. So here we are. Okay. Agenda item number 5. Is there any discussion before I call for a motion to approve the June 21st, 2023 subcommittee meeting minutes? Okay, hearing no discussion, I call for a motion to approve the June 21, 2023 Strategic Planning Subcommittee meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
As there's Drazen Elez, let me make the motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, please let the record reflect that the motion carried. Agenda item number 6. Is there any discussion before I call for a motion to approve the September 20th Strategic Planning Subcommittee minutes?
Gina Bon Jovi, so moved.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second, Scott Black.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Please let the record reflect that the motion carries. Okay, moving on to agenda item number 7 for discussion and informational item only. The chair recognizes Katie Gilbertson, policy analyst at Goen, to provide some brief remarks on the subcommittee membership revisions.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Chair. Katie Gilbertson, Governor's Office Workforce Innovation for the record. So I gave an update on this at the last meeting in September, but just figured it'd be good to refresh since we've had a couple updates since then. Per the bylaw change to the Governor's Workforce Development Board bylaws that was approved by the full board in the August meeting, the subcommittees now are going to be capped at 11 members, just to avoid these quorum issues getting with quorum and making the bodies more of a decision making rather than having everybody on there, making them a little more succinct. And with the 11 member composition, the bylaws currently have it as up to 8 Governor's Workforce Development Board members can be on the subcommittee, and 30% can be non-Governor's Workforce Development Board. So we're going to be changing that at the December meeting to, instead of say 30% of the subcommittee can be non-Governor's Workforce Development Board, we're just going to change that to a nominal 3. We had this problem come up with the Child Care Subcommittee of wanting to invite 3 non-board members. However, there weren't, enough Governor's Workforce Development Board members for that 30% to satisfy that. So we're changing that at the December full board meeting next week. There's going to be a agenda item to vote on the new bylaws. And then another addition that's come since the last meeting with those bylaws to the subcommittee membership is that since we are going to be having to get rid of some members on the subcommittee, since they're too large right now, there's going to be a clause that states there can be non-voting subcommittee members. So then that way, if you still want to come and you don't necessarily want to be a voting member, you can still speak freely during the meetings and stuff like that. You just won't be called or taken account for and rolled for quorum. So those 2 revisions will be presented to the full board next week and voted on. So pending those changes, the subcommittee structure will be changed. Milt, do you have a question, Mr. Stewart?
Yeah, I do. Thank you. Milt Stewart for the record. So is there any special consideration for the local boards to be one of those 3 non-governor's board members?
Yes. Yeah, Katie Gilbertson for the record. Yeah, so we are going to keep a representative from Workforce Connections and Nevada Works as 2 of the 3 non-board members. We're still having Vice Chair Evans. He's reviewing the subcommittee memberships and he's going to see how he thinks it should go. I'm going to be sending out an email to all the subcommittee members individually, just saying, hey, so-and-so, you're on X committee, subcommittee. Please take into account that there's attendance rules with that. Do you still wish to be on the subcommittee? Please let me know by, whatever date. So that's how we're going to proceed. I'm still waiting on Vice Chair Evans for that
Thank you.
consideration.
Just a question, as you guys send those out, is there gonna be also a note saying you've attended this many of these meetings?
I can put your current attendance in there if you'd like, sure.
No, I mean, I know I've been there, one of them, but just to kind of letting folks know that if they haven't been able to make a single meeting, then maybe it's not
Yeah.
something that they should be part of.
No, that's a good consideration. Thank you. So yeah, but I hopefully want to send that up before the next full board meeting. Vice Chair Evans has had some stuff going on, so I'm not trying to push him too hard. But yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there any further discussions or questions before I move on to the next agenda item? Okay, moving on to agenda item number 8. For discussion and informational item only, the chair will provide some updates on the state plan. So the state plan has been sent to the governor's office for the governor's review. And then the state plan will go out, I believe, Katie, you said next week for public comment?
December 18th.
December 18th, thank you very much. One of the things that we will be doing related to the state plan is to work on the strategic plan that uses the overarching goals, strategies, and measures from the state plan to develop further. So we will be in touch to determine who wants to continue to work on that content and who will be added to the work group for that purpose. And please, as of the 18th, make sure that if you have stakeholders that you believe should have the opportunity to comment on the state plan, make sure that you provide them with the link for the public posting of the state plan. Okay, are there any questions for me on the state plan moving forward?
Nancy, this is Edward Estefan for record. So we've given it to the governor. Has there been anything? Just kind of curious and nervous at the same time, all at once.
Yeah, so Nancy Olson for the record, I will shoot that back to Katie. I don't believe that they've gotten any feedback yet, or if they have, they've not told me.
Yeah, Katie Gilbertson for the record. No, we haven't received any feedback.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
We request to have it back, the feedback back by next Monday. So if we do get something, it'll be then.
Okay, thank you.
Fingers crossed.
This is Milt, if I may. Can you refresh my memory on timelines for once the state plan goes out for public comment? How long does it have to be out for public comment for? And I guess what I'm really asking is how much time does this group have to revise based on any input that the governor might have?
Okay, Nancy Olson for the record. So it will go out for, there's not a set amount of time that has to go out for public comment, but our plan was for it to be out for public comment for 30 days. And then it will go, so we can make any kind of substantive changes prior to then going to the full board the 1st of February. And then we will have until March 4th for it to be entered and submitted into the federal portal.
Thank you.
Does that answer your question, Milt?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, any other questions? Okay, before moving on, I would kindly request that any members of the subcommittee who arrived late after roll call, please identify yourselves at this time so you're marked present.
Milt Stewart.
Edward Estefan.
I'm sorry. And
Okay, so Milt and Edward Estefan. Thank you. Moving on to agenda item number 9, members of the public are invited for final comments. Do we have any final comments on the telephone? Any comments on Zoom? Hey, hearing no further comments, I hereby move to adjourn this meeting.
Thank you.